Hi everyone, it's Cody, and I haven't made a video in a while. So we're quarantined here in LA for the next 2 weeks, and I figured let's get on and talk about something not depressing and fun. And I've really been into dream interpretation for a long time. I don't think I've always done a good job of actually interpreting my own dreams in a way that was useful or beneficial to me. So I've always reached out to others who might know more about the subject in order to gain some better understanding of what my subconscious was trying to tell me. So I had a very specific dream last night. I've been pretty actively dreaming this year, and I've been trying to write it down in my dream journal, and I've been just trying to look into interpretation, actually taking the time to write things down and what this symbolism means, how it pertains to the events going on in my life, getting down to things, right? Excuse me. So I'm a pretty active dreamer. I've suffered from night terrors and sleep paralysis and really frightening night things, sleepwalking even at times, for quite a number of years. And I am really coming into a new time in my life, and the dreams that I've had this year have left me feeling confused, and I see that there's a lot of direct symbolism. There's a lot of specific things that are happening in my dreams that I just need to, it's driving me crazy. Like, it's just so random. I don't know what it means until I look it up, and then I start to piece it together like a puzzle, and I'm getting a lot from it. So I had this very specific dream last night, and I immediately started writing it down, because if I don't write it down, I tend to forget. And if you're looking into getting more into dream interpretation, or this is a subject that interests you, I always want to encourage people to write things down. I know this subject isn't something that's probably super interesting to a lot of my my current subscribers, or maybe people who find this video, but I'm quarantined and I'm bored, and I thought this was really exciting because the dream was extremely frightening in a sense, but more so it was uncomfortable. It was really uncomfortable feeling, and I was at a dis-ease, waking up immediately. And the dream was really broken up into 3 different quick dreams. I have a lot of different types of dreams. Sometimes I have dreams that are so based in reality. When I wake up, it's hard for me to tell that it's not the dream, because I'll be in the exact same room with the exact same person. Everything's in the exact same place. And there's these striking similarities. Other times I have wildly elaborate dreams that are in like realms that don't exist in our reality. And then there are times and now I'm having this like polarizing dream, which I'm going to try to stick to the interpretation of my dream, like the what happened in my dream, and my breaking things down, what each thing means, and then my interpretation of the experience. So it can encourage people, or people who, if you're interested, you can see where I got. And I was really fascinated. I woke up feeling like an unrest with myself, and kind of fearful, to feeling very motivated and excited about the things that I'm facing in my future. So I'm gonna try to stick to the story and not go off on tangents. So, because this video will be enough. I've already been talking for too long. So what happened in the dream? Okay, so my first dream is I am looking down into it's dark. It's like I'm in a dark space. There's not much else going on. All I remember is I'm looking down into a container, and there are sliced green onions, and there are diced there are sliced green bell peppers in this dark container, and I can see that how they're sliced, and then there are chopped up red onions, and they're kind of mixed up, but I'm eating the red onions, and I was very upset. I was eating them, and then like a flash, it was over, and I woke up, and I was in kind of like a hot sweat, and I was kind of feeling kind of panicky. I went to the bathroom. I was like, that was freaking weird, you know, eating onions. I never have had a dream like that before. And this was later in my sleep cycle, so the morning was definitely on its way. Have some water, go back to sleep. Almost immediately, I have a dream. Oh, I'm sorry. I put this in the wrong order, I believe. Yes, I put this in the wrong order because I feel like the order is very important. That was the second of 4 stages of my dream. So the first step was I was taking a glass shard. I would say there were shards in my hands or something, and I took a large glass shard out of my arm. And I remember I looked at it. It looked about like, it was like this big. It was a big chunk. It was in my arm. I felt it. I removed it, and I felt like I was taking glass out of my skin. The second one was me eating the red onions and the green bell peppers. I can't recall if I ate any of the green bell peppers, but I think that I was only eating the onions. Now, the third part of my dream was maybe the most, it was, for some reason, looking back, it's not as scary, but in the moment, it was the most polarizing and terrifying. And it was, I couldn't see it. I wasn't looking at myself, but I had like a light coming down over my head, and I could see it illuminating my vision. Almost like a halo, or kind of like this light is hitting my head now, except I was in a dark space and I was trying to like see up and I couldn't. I was just like, freaked me out. And that one went on for the longest. And then the fourth element was, so I woke up after the onions and went back to sleep. And then I had the third one with the bright illumination and went back to sleep. And then from that point on, I just had the song. I can't remember the environment I was in, but the song was just repeating in my head. And I'll get into the song. And I've had songs. I woke up really shortly after. The song part wasn't that long. These all feel like they were, gosh, this may have, I have no idea the real time it happened in, but it felt like a short time in my dream. So for dreams, usually they might seem really long, but they only go on for a really short amount of real time. So I woke up completely in like an unrest, and I was very, I knew everything that happened. So I started writing everything down, and I started looking everything up. So the first thing I found, which was probably the most reassuring, was that I have some notes here that I wrote down because like I've been getting kind of into this, and it was taking shards out of your arm represents obstacles that you're trying to overcome in your life. It indicates that I might feel out of control, and I'm trying to take back control of my life. There was a weird thing when I woke up in the middle of the night where my arm was really cold. It was like really, really, really cold. And my other arm wasn't as cold. And I remember distinctly that I picked the shard out of my right arm, but there is association with picking shards out of your arm and the blood flow and what that means. I didn't get so into it because it was opposite. My left arm had poor circulation, and I picked the shard out of my right arm. If it would have been the same, I would have looked more into what that means. But how that relates to what's going on in my life is I am really at a pivotal turning point, and I feel like if you watched my last video, really feel even some more events have happened in the last month since I posted that, where I just feel like I'm like losing control of my life. As soon as I get a hold of it, I feel like I can't seem to get a hold of it. And by the way, these flowers aren't a part of like any like pagan ritual or anything weird. I'm just drying them. And my friend showed me this trick to dry them out, because I'm like, well, what do I do with flowers that I'm trying to dry out? And he did some really cute artsy stuff. So that's just what this is about. Anyways, so I had felt like I've got a lot of good things that I'm moving towards, and I found this to be reassuring that I am moving through my obstacles and I'm in control and I'm taking the control. And that made me feel like overall there's opportunity coming for me to take control and do something good with my life and what's coming. So this is where things get weird. The bell pepper and the onion. Now, if I would have just been eating the onion, I would have been really, really, really worried, because the associations of this mean, traditionally, from what I can understand, it's bad. It means that someone is out to get you, someone has casted, I'm not a big believer when things get really kind of, what is it, for lack of a better word, just kind of like overly, not skepticism, but just kind of woo-woo, I can't find the word, but when it just seems a bit far to see that someone was like wishing evil on me, or that people were out to get me, or which these were things that came up when I did the searching. It's important for me to mention that I felt alone in my dream, and I felt like I had prepared this myself. I felt like if there's any evil or bad or things that are in my way, I think it's coming from within. And that was a strong sense that I had when I looked this up. So importantly, it was paired with green bell peppers, which have a changing, positive, maturing, productive, healing, hope, peace, all of these things, desire to respect and gain freedom. That's what the bell pepper means. So I really felt like, from the red onions, that they were diced, that maybe since onions are more layered, they make you cry. They represent, that you're having a lot of emotions and mood swings. And while you might feel happy 1 second, you might feel indifferent or depressed in the next, and that I need to focus on controlling my emotions, processing what I'm going through, and respecting them and moving through it, not succumbing to them, but continuing to move forward and let it be in the past. So that way I can get to the green bell pepper, where I'm healing myself, I'm happy, these opportunities are going to show up. So eating the red peppers, eating the red peppers do have their own totally different association in dreams. I also thought it was peculiar that they were sliced like long ways, and they were longer. The onions were diced, like how these are usually how I cut each of these vegetables. The onions were raw onions, and that also shows that I'm further behind in I'm still actively dealing with this process of the onion. I'm going through the layers. I'm not done with that. And since I wasn't to the green peppers, I wasn't eating both of them. I was eating the red onion. And I felt upset when I was eating it. I felt like, I was only eating that. But the raw bell peppers were prepared and ready to be consumed. So I feel like it's coming. Now, the yellow light that was emanating from above me really gave me some fear, because there are some there are some things that are associated with death, with I wasn't a white light, but the light in dreams. So I definitely veered away from that because I get like, because of like my previous decisions I've made in my life, and like my doctor says I'm in good health, but I'm afraid, always afraid that I'm going to die early, or I'm going to get cancer, like my cancer at an early age, and that I just have that paranoia that lives inside me. So I didn't focus on that, and I really was grateful that there are other meanings associated, which are more along the lines of this, like understanding your truth, of the illuminating light. I felt very afraid and confused in the dream, but it is to shed light on confusing issues. I felt like it was a clarity now that I'm understanding the symbolism of the dream. Such clear messages. Like, I forgot to mention, when I was laying down in bed, I did a prayer. I prayed to Jesus, and I was praying until I fell asleep for messages, and to only give me messages that I have the ability to understand now and that I can implicate in my life. And without a night's sleep passing, I got such clear messages. And like I said, I was really frightened when I got them. And then lastly, I was confused why I just thought the song was my personality, just, resorting to music to get through things. And I always kind of get songs stuck in my head through the day. And this song wasn't even, it's something that I've listened to recently, but it's not like a standout. I don't really have a lot of experience or experiences I associate with the song, or it doesn't have too much meaning to me. I just think it's a catchy song and I like it. So it was like a line of the song that I was stuck in my head when I woke up. And to me, that meant that since it was a fun song and it's a song I enjoyed, I pretty much just focused on the fact that, hey, the clarity and optimism that were just shown to me, I can use music, like music is there for me to rejuvenate me, to make me feel good. That song, even though I didn't feel great when I woke up bouncing around with it stuck in my head, I know my relationship with that song has been an upbeat memory. So I felt like all of these things really, really put into place a really clear message for me. Use the music that you love to get you through. It's positive. It was a positive message. There was clarity. There was warning and letting me know, hey, you're going through an up and down period right now. You need to be prepared, but there's green grass or green peppers on the other side. So this is my first dream interpretation video of this year that I've really contrived a lot of meaning from, and who knows, maybe I'll share more. I don't expect messages to always be so clear, but I'm really focusing on understanding the messages from my higher power and taking in the things in the world around me to better serve myself and to better serve my community and my world. So I can be the best me. So I can be the best me that I can be. And I don't know. If anything, thanks for watching, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Everyone stay safe out there. I'm really praying a lot for those who are in cities that are affected by the COVID virus, the coronavirus, COVID-19. It's a really trying time for a lot of us, and just know that there are so many of us coming together, praying for others, and really, really looking out for each other as a community on a local level and on a global level. So thank you for watching again. Peace out and see you in the next vid.